Welcome back, everyone, to Liminal Horror, solo session number 3. Let's make it official by writing that down. Our chaos factor was 7. When we left off, whoops, let's include that. There we go. Literally said to myself, when you start this, don't go over the title over and over like you did over here. Couldn't help it. Had to do it. Okay, so when we last left off, we saw the group sneaking into the anthropology department at Saint... Where was it? At the University of St. Josephine. So Iris knew, or had a teacher or a professor back in the day that taught a theology course and seemed to have like a special interest in the occult. So she figured, what the hell, they'll take the stone cube there and see if he can tell them anything about it. So that is where we are at. They snuck in by jumping on top of a air conditioning unit and getting in through an unlocked window. But in the process, Todd, in his ultra-dexterous nature, got them caught by a cop. Not caught physically, but he watched them do it and followed them into the building, a little bit behind them, but still in pursuit / trying to figure out where they are. So that's officially where we left off. And they are searching for the office. So I kind of figured we could take this in two directions. We could just ask the Oracle, is the office located where they are currently in the East Wing? Or the West Wing, you know what I mean? Or we could just leave it up to chance and say that we have a 1 in 6 chance that they'll nail it right away. Maybe a 2 in 6. So a 1 in 3 chance. Just because, being in the building itself might start to jog Iris's memory a little bit. So let's say roll a d6 and a 3 or a 4 gives Iris an idea of where to go. Okay. Let's see here. 3 or 4. A 6. They don't know where to go. Nothing looks familiar where they're currently at. So I'll roll a d8. 1 through 2, north. 3 through 4, east. 5 through 6, south. 7 through 8, west. And that'll say what kind of wing of the building they're in. Or like what, where they are in the building. What window that was. 3 through 4. So that's an east. They're on the east side. So she's looking around. Is this area, like, does she see anything that's familiar? Doesn't see anything. Is there... we'll say, is there a map or directory listed nearby? And we're going to say that's we'll say it's 50-50. We could just decide this ourselves, but if it's not, that means they have to keep looking, and there is a cop hot on their tails. So, I forgot. Remember last time when I rolled a frickin' D20 instead of the D100s for this shit? Shoot, I mean. Right. 50-50 at chaos factor 7. So we need a 75 or lower. Ooh, god damn, that's a 21. Oh wait, no, that's a good thing. Sorry. Okay. I'm playing like D20 games. They're still roll under, but I'm playing D20, a liminal horror session with some people, and rolling the D20s in the D100s always mess me up. Okay, so that is a success, almost an exceptional. So they find it. Let's see. That is a yes. Rolled 21. That's a yes. Awesome. Okay. Where is the classroom located? Or where's the professor's office located? / classroom located. Alright, roll the D8 again. 1 through 2 being north. Okay, so it's on the north side of the north wing. Okay, alright. So they gotta head to the north wing from the east. So I figured we would do they heard the cop when he called out and said stop, but they're in, so I mean they're aware, so we can just assume that they're being somewhat stealthy. But we will roll we'll say there's like a 25% chance that this cop will run into them. So they're on the east side. They need to get to the north. So if they open the window here, they've been kind of wandering around. Maybe we don't know where they had to go to find the directory. So they're kind of wandering around. Maybe they're focused on trying to find the directory. They don't know that the cop, they don't notice the cop if he's gotten close. But he might be searching through individual classrooms and offices. So we say a 25% chance, 25 and lower. He's got him. Wow, really? Okay. So that's a 19. Shit. Does the officer see them? 25% chance. A 19. Yes. Damn. Okay, so here we go. The officer essentially, like, rolls up on them, flashlight, like, dead ass in their eyes. They can't see shit. They're caught off guard. Hey, stop where you are right now. They got their hands up over their eyes. They can't see anything. Like, just fucking don't shoot. We can explain. He's got his gun out. Get on the ground. Keep your hands in the air where I can see them. Get on the fucking ground. So they're getting down on their knees. He's got, like, this is a tense situation. And I'll say, damn. I mean, they didn't murder anyone. I know they called in the body. I mean, right as of right now, they're just being questioned. Like that would be the worst case scenario if they got brought in. But also there's some trippy shit going on with this stone cube, and ideally they'd want to figure out, you know, if this professor has any information, if he's still in his office for like late office hours, or if he's, you know, if can they find his like actual home address. So they've got to decide kind of here what they want to do. They can let's take a little note real quick. Officer stops them. Flashlight and gun drawn. And then, I don't know, I say Iris. Oh boy, I gotta look at some stats real quick. Alright, Chaz, Todd, Iris, oh boy. So is Control isn't really like charisma, is it? I gotta find my liminal horror handbook. I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. I left it out in the kitchen from my last session with the IRL group. So, Control is indeed kind of a charisma charm-ish. Iris, she's a therapist. I mean, maybe she's just like really like kind of cut and dry, honest. You know, like she's not incredibly charming, but I don't think you necessarily need to be charming to be a therapist. I think you just need to be a good listener and, you know, willing to help. So she's not maybe the person for this job. I'm going to say Chaz, you know, he talks to people for a living. He's like, you know what I mean? He can kind of, he's like sales, essentially. You know how when you walk into Best Buy and they're like, hey, can I get you anything? Like, you need help looking for anything? But they do that like 60 times throughout all the people that work in the store. So he's got some kind of like, he's got some like charm to him. So I'm gonna say Chaz. He's gonna attempt to lie to this police officer. And I'm gonna see if we can convince him that we were at a nearby bar, and maybe let's see if it works first. Okay, I gotta roll a 12 or under. A 9. I mean, so Chaz is like, officer, seriously, we can explain. Like, okay, I know we fucked up. We shouldn't be in here. Listen, we were at a bar. This is my friend Iris. She told us she used to go here. She could get us in. There's, you know, she etched her name under the desk of an old professor, and she was telling us, you know, we were going down memory lane. I know it's stupid. Like, we shouldn't have done it. Like, we fucked up. And, you know, the officer's like, you fucking expect me to believe that? Like, you broke in through a fucking window. What are you doing? And Iris, kind of catching it, is like, I mean, here, check. I have my ID still. Like, I went here. Okay, so then we're gonna. All right. Let's say Chaz. Control. Check. To lie to officer. We'll say he didn't. He rolled a 9. Success. Tells the officer Iris was taking them down memory lane. Oh shit, memory lane. From her golden days. I mean, they're adults. Maybe the cop's cool, you know? Maybe he's like, maybe he can be understanding. And then we'll say she's a grown-ass woman, but I know plenty of people still who have their student IDs. So does Iris have her old student ID? And then I'll say it's unlikely, but still not entirely impossible. Okay. Unlikely at a chaos factor of 7. We need a 65 or under. But just to prove to you, I stopped working at Starbucks like a literal decade ago. Oh, dude, did I seriously take that out? Oh, fuck, really? No, see? I stopped working at Starbucks a decade ago. I don't even think they give out partner cards anymore. Check that shit out. I keep that thing on me. You can see the little like mud looking stuff there. I used to scrape the keef out of my grinder back in my old pothead days. But yeah, see, so it's possible, and that's fucking Starbucks. So there's a chance. Let's figure this out. Does she still have her ID? A 65 and under. Dude. An 11. Oh, 10 was what we needed. Wait. No, 11. No, wait, hold on. Sorry, I can't read. A 13 is what we needed. That's crazy. Okay. 11. Exceptional. Okay, what would the exceptional yes for having her old student ID be? Fuck. Wait. Okay, this is crazy, but I feel like the exceptional yes is the officer recognizes her. Like they know each other. Oh, that's so perfect. All right. The officer looks at Iris and her ID. Then realizes he knows her. Oh, we won't say he knows her, but he knows her parents. How about that? How about that? He knows her parents personally. Okay. Iris, what's her last name? should know this. Iris Worthington. He takes a look at her ID. You have got to be shitting me. Iris Worthington. He kind of he tips the flashlight down a little bit so they can actually see. What the fuck are you doing, girl? And then he's introduces himself. You don't recognize me, do you? Yeah, probably not. I knew your parents. I knew you when you were a tiny little kid. And look at you now. Your parents would fucking give you the belt in about 2 seconds if they knew what was happening right now. He holds out his hand. Lieutenant Dave Stern. Iris, like, pretty surprised by all this, like, oh, Officer Stern? What? I don't think I've met you. He's like, you've met me. You just don't remember. You were a little kid the last time I saw you. But your dad and I, we used to hit it pretty hard back in the day at the Eagles. Officer Stern and her dad, they used to just like essentially just throw money away on pull tabs and shit beer at the Eagles club on the weekends or when he was off. They don't hang out anymore. Iris and her sister, they got a little bit older. The parents, empty nesters. They live like part-time in the area, part-time during the winter in Arizona. But yeah, I mean, he's just surprised. You look the same, but like a stretched out version of you. I mean, I can't believe how tall you are. Your dad, he's a little guy. I can't believe you got this tall. You had to have gotten it from your mom. She's still just kind of blown away that this fucking worked. You know, he's like, the officer's like, I know that we've got a shared acquaintance here, but you guys got to get the fuck out of here. This looks bad on me. If I'm standing here shooting the shit with you, follow me. I'm gonna take you out of here. And he turns and sort of like holds out his hand, you know, like this way, and waits for them to kind of follow him, you know, towards the exit. So, give me 1 sec. He tells her about his friendship with her dad. And then escorts the three toward the exit. Okay, dude, that's so crazy. Okay, exceptionally, yes, that's wild. And they're heading out. The officer's leading the way down the corridor. It's pretty dark. None of the lights are on. Maybe like the occasional like red exit sign above, like one of the emergency exits. But he's taking them towards like one of the kind of push glass doors at the front of the exit. He must be like an officer, like employed by the university or something, because he's got keys to the building. So they're kind of heading towards the exit. Chaz gets the idea. I mean, he saw what he saw. He was the one holding the cube when the visions kind of took over and sent him somewhere else for a minute. And that, if there's a chance to figure out what's actually happening with this, this is our best shot. They gotta find the where the professor, where he lives, where he keeps his files, or maybe if they can grab a hold of like a personal computer or something, they can get access to his personal folders. Maybe he's got information or research regarding this, but Iris can kind of tell, he's got something cooking. And, she steadies his hand, like, sort of, not steadies his hand, but, like, sort of puts her hand out, like, as they're walking behind, like, I got this. Like, don't fuck this up. We just got so fucking lucky. Like, it's kind of what she's saying. And as they're being let out, Iris... One sec. As they walk through the door, or the exit, Iris gets the officers, well, not the officer, gets Officer Stern's attention. Okay. I'm going to make a note that it's Dave Stern. Okay. There we go. Does he know where Professor, and this is where we come up with the name, Professor Professor Hilliard. Professor Hillard lives these days. This is their best bet. He's a cop. He knows the town pretty well. He's employed by the university. He talks to these people, I'm assuming on like a pretty regular basis. I'm going to say there's a 50-50 shot that he knows this professor, like where he lives. So Iris is like, Officer Stern, really what I wanted to show them was where I had etched my name under Professor Hilliard's desk. I love that class. He was like an inspiration to me. And I know he taught theology, but kind of the reason that I went into like social work and counseling and therapy is he was like someone I could talk to no matter what was really going on during my time here at St. Josephine. And I understand that we got to get out of here, but I would really love a chance to speak with him again. And I don't know, I kind of lost touch. Do you have any idea where Professor Hillard lives these days? And we're going to find out. Let's see. A 50-50. Chaos factor 7. Is it a 7 still? The stakes are like kind of back down. Let's see. Yeah, we'll keep it as 7. You know, they're still like kind of in hot shit. You know what I mean? Like they did break into a university. Maybe he's not giving them a citation or notifying any further authorities of their trespassing, but I mean, I wouldn't call him like negotiable right now. You know what I mean? He's still the one in charge. So let's do this. A 34, 50-50 chaos 7. Easy. Yes, he does. $34. Yes. Okay. And where does he live? So they are in the university district right now, which is right up here. I'm going to say that he lives... Give me one second. Where does everyone else live? I'm gonna say that he lives in the arts district. He's a anthropology, theology teacher. I mean, you know, he's probably got a taste for the arts. So yeah, we'll say he lives in the arts district. The officer reluctantly tells Iris that, what's his first name? That Ben Hillard still lives alone in the arts district. Right off Mission and Grand. Those are the cross streets. All right. Okay, so they've got a location to go to. Let's see here. Okay, so they got to get there. They have... Shit, they took public transit. Is there a train station? I mean, they could get on a bus. I mean, if they went south, they could get to a train station. We could say there's one there, and then maybe one here. Business. Maybe one here. There's one in downtown North Point. Okay, I think that hits them all. Maybe there's another one right here. Okay, there we go. So they could head south, or they could just hoof it. So, well, yeah, we'll say that they're heading directly west towards the arts district. All right. I say we test the scene. That's what I'm thinking. Scene adjustment. No, we got to test the expected scene first. Okay, so the officer tells them you know, yeah, Ben Hillard still lives alone in the arts district. Tells him the cross streets. Lets Iris know he is 100% asleep right now. That man goes to bed early. He is quite elderly for not being that elderly. He's on that grandpa schedule. So tells him like, why don't you just leave him alone? You got his name. You could just call him. Just look him up. Just look up his information and just call him like a normal person. And then kind of, last word as he's walking away. If I catch you fuckers in that building again, you're going to jail. Go home. Then he walks off. And they're like, dude, what the fuck? How is this happening? We got so lucky. Todd's like, I almost shit my pants. I farted while we were walking through the hallway, and it was wet. My nerves are shot. My anxiety is releasing. I gotta find a store or something. I'm gonna poop my pants. So he's like, they run over across the street. They're at a convenience store. Todd runs in, drops his guts in the bathroom. They're discussing like, so how do we get there? Do we take a bus? And it's like, no, I don't want to be around anyone with this shit in my possession. Let's just get to his house. I know he told us to leave him alone. All we got to do is knock on the door. Maybe we show him the thing and he's seen it before. And I mean, maybe we just give him the thing. He can see for himself. I don't know. And so they head over there, but not before, Todd wants to know, can I hold it? Can I see the stone? Chaz is reluctant, but he's pretty sure. It's not like, what's he gonna do? Take it and run? It's like, yeah, by all means, buckle up. It's fucked. So he hands Todd the stone. Should we, let's say, Todd asks Chaz to hold the stone. Chaz agrees. So I would say maybe this is a testing the scene. Yeah, let's do that. Let's test the scene. This isn't what I was going to test it, but this seems like it would be, like a good reason to do it. So we're at Chaos Factor 7. Let's test the scene. How did we format that? Okay. Scene test. What do we got here? So we roll D20. Or no. Wait, roll a D10. Okay. We roll a D10, compare it to the chaos factor, which is 7. That's a 7. Roll odd within the chaos factor. 1, 3, 5, 7. Okay. It's an altered scene. Give me 1 second while I look up what an altered scene is. Okay, so an altered scene is essentially like a variation on the expected scene. Like Mythic heard your idea and said, let's try this instead. So I'm going to say we roll the 7. altered. Scene alteration. Let us roll on the meaning and action tables real quick, maybe just for some quick inspo. A 24. Control. Interesting. In action 2. An 85. Control success. Control success. What could that mean? Control success. Control success as an alteration. We could say ooh. Okay, so we could say controlled success. I'm going to say that instead of the vision that Chaz saw, Todd sees a vision of himself slumped against the side of a building on the sidewalk. And he's got like essentially an abdomen wound where it looks like he's holding it all in with his hands. He's bleeding profusely, and there's blood sort of dribbling out of the corner of his mouth, and he's very clearly trying to maintain consciousness. So I'm going to write that down real quick. Todd sees a vision of himself slumped on sidewalk, holding entrails in while bleeding profusely from a severe abdomen laceration. He begins to lose consciousness in the vision and real life. Okay, so Todd is seeing this kind of flash before him. The people around him, Iris and Chaz, they disappear. He's somewhere else in the city, watching himself take his last couple breaths, leaning against the building. And as the vision version of him sort of loses consciousness, Todd loses consciousness. He falls, sort of hits the ice machine outside the convenience stores, sort of hits it, rolls off of it, sort of lands on the sidewalk. Doesn't hit his head or anything, but I mean, he's out and wakes up to Chaz kind of like patting him on the cheek. I don't know, does Todd tell them the truth? Yeah, I'm going to say that Todd tells them. Todd tells them what he saw. So they're like, you know, compared to Chaz's visions, I mean, they're worried. That's fucked. Like, why is this thing showing them these images? I mean, they don't really know what to do. It does feel a little more dire now that they are directly involved in whatever visions this thing is conjuring up. Sort of crossing their fingers, hoping it's not premonition adjacent. But yeah, now more than ever, they need to find this professor. So I'm going to say they head west on foot to the arts district to find Professor Hillard. And that is where we are gonna call it. Sorry, but you're just gonna have to wait. I'm gonna change the thumbnails for Liminal Horror because one of the biggest reasons I don't record it regularly is because the little display board that I have to map out, the bag with all those letters in it, there's just so many goddamn letters, and when I have to do a new title name for everything, as fun as it is, it usually, like, I've procrastinated long enough where it's like that's the thing that's holding me back. So I'm just gonna do a general one that just says like a liminal horror solo, and that way I'll have one that I can just use. Maybe I'll adjust like the episode number, but yeah. Thanks for watching. This was a crazy episode, but yeah, stay tuned for more. Thanks, y'all. Bye.